In economics, there's a basic principle. When prices go up, people buy less. When they drop, they buy more. However, luxury goods flip this rule on its head. The pricier they are, the more they seem to sell. But in today's world, where consumers are well-informed and savvy, just being expensive doesn't automatically open wallets. There's some kind of enchantment in the pricing of luxury goods. Why are they so expensive anyway? Firstly, luxury goods are, by their very nature, items of extravagance. Products known as luxury were born out of a desire for opulence. Traditionally, King Louis XIV of France, known as the Sun King, is credited with their origin. But a more accurate beginning might be traced back to the early 17th century under Cardinal Richelieu, the chief minister to Louis XIII. He argued that royal splendor was essential to earn respect both at home and abroad. Given that Louis XIII was only 9 when he ascended to the throne, France was in a state of internal and external instability. Richelieu sought to counter this instability with the magnificence of the royal court. Following in the footsteps of his predecessors, King Louis XIV's penchant for luxury goes without saying. He was essentially the first celebrity in history. His clothes, wigs, and accessories quickly set the trends among the nobility and royal households across Europe. It was Minister Colbert who capitalized on this star power to develop France's luxury goods into a thriving industry. Ironically, the extravagance of the Bourbon monarchy played a role in sparking the French Revolution, but it also set the foundation for France's reputation as the land of fashion and luxury. This trend continued, and in the 19th century, under Napoleon III, the trademark system was introduced. This era witnessed the ascent of brands renowned in their respective fields. Guerlain, a name synonymous with fine perfumes, Cartier, distinguished for its exquisite watches and jewelry, Hermès, celebrated for its premium leather goods, and Louis Vuitton, a beacon in the world of high fashion. All of these brands, which began as suppliers to the royal court, cemented their reputations as epitomes of luxury. Thus, luxury goods have always been inherently expensive, stemming from their origins as the indulgences of royalty and nobility. Secondly, the cost of production for luxury goods is inherently high. When we think of luxury goods, we envision artisans meticulously crafting each piece with the finest materials. For instance, Hermès, renowned for its use of only the highest quality leather, reportedly won't produce certain items if the leather isn't up to their standards, even if it takes years. To even work with their leather, one must study for 3 years at Hermès's specialized leather school, followed by an additional 2 years of apprenticeship. An artisan trained through this rigorous process can only produce 2 handcrafted bags per week. So, it's no surprise that these items come with a hefty price tag. Of course, not all luxury brands follow this traditional mold. In France and Italy, the powerhouses of the luxury world often referred to as the G2 of luxury. There's a serious labor shortage nowadays. Like anywhere else, people are increasingly reluctant to take on tough jobs. Moreover, as family-run artisan workshops have gradually become more corporatized, there's a trend to manufacture in Chinese factories within France and Italy for cost competition. Some brands even blatantly produce finished products in countries with lower labor costs like Romania, Turkey, India, and Vietnam. Given that many luxury goods no longer embody the meticulous craftsmanship of artisans, yet still command high prices, it seems clear that there's a significant markup involved. The third aspect is the artistic value. Gone are the days when luxury items were the exclusive domain of the nobility, just as the era when only the wealthy could own luxury items has passed. Today, people form savings groups to buy a luxury bag, and college students work part-time jobs to buy their girlfriends a luxury gift. Experts use a variety of economic and psychological terms to analyze the unique consumer behaviors surrounding luxury goods. These often focus on the reasons people purchase luxury items. There's the panoply effect, where owning luxury goods makes one feel part of the upper class, and the Veblen effect, where the more expensive an item is, the more desirable it becomes due to vanity and the desire to show off. There's also the bandwagon effect, following trends set by celebrities, and the snob effect, where people stop buying a product once it becomes mainstream. In summary, there are 2 main reasons people buy luxury items: self-display and self-satisfaction. Self-display involves buying luxury goods to show off to others, while self-satisfaction is about owning luxury goods that are beautiful, even if only I see them. In the case of self-satisfaction, luxury goods are like works of art, but, unlike art, there's no fixed price. Beyond cost and profit, there's value in the creator's passion, originality, and artistic spirit. When you add the panoply, boublon, and bandwagon effects to luxury brands, their high prices become justified to the masses. If this weren't the case, people wouldn't spend a fortune on Italian cars like Ferraris or Maseratis. There's a saying that if the doors fit too well, it's not a Maserati, implying that Italian cars are known for their technical flaws. However, Italian cars possess a unique emotion and design that perfectly engineered German cars lack. They're like works of art, and people are willing to pay generously for that. The fourth reason is that luxury goods are considered positional goods. The book, The Price of Fish, explains that there are two types of goods in this world: material goods and positional goods. Most items like TVs, computers, and phones are material goods, having an absolute value. This means their prices are fixed, so they sell well when discounted. However, some items possess relative or social value rather than absolute value. These are positional goods, with luxury brands being prime examples. To maintain their relative and social value, positional goods can't be common. Therefore, these products are either initially priced very high or their prices increase as they become more popular. Take the Birkin bag by Hermes, for instance. It's the dream of many women, including celebrities. This bag, costing tens of thousands of dollars, isn't something you can just buy with money. At one point, the wait list stretched to 5 to 6 years due to high demand. Crafted by artisans who can only make about 2 per week, the Birkin bag is now available only to those lucky enough to find it in store without a wait. You have to frequently visit the Hermes store, and if you happen to find a Birkin bag, it's like striking gold. When you do, it feels like winning the lottery, and you'd eagerly pay on the spot. Patek Philippe, the Swiss pinnacle of luxury watches, doesn't let customers choose the product. Instead, the company chooses its customers. To buy one of their high-end watches, which can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, you need to submit a resume of your watch history and go through an interview. Only after passing this scrutiny, to determine if you're worthy of this distinguished luxury item, can you then purchase the watch with your own money. The marketing strategies of Hermès and Patek Philippe are all about maintaining the rarity that is characteristic of positional goods, keeping their prices high. Lastly, the clever manipulation of consumer psychology through the anchoring effect plays a role. Imagine a ship anchored. It can move around, but only within the radius of its anchor. Now, what happens when you apply this to pricing? Let's say there's a handbag worth $100,000 prominently displayed in the store. This sets the anchor. Unknowingly, customers start evaluating other items worth around this anchor. A $50,000 handbag suddenly seems reasonable. The store doesn't really intend to sell the $100,000 bag, it's just bait. Their real goal is to sell handbags priced between $20,000 to $30,000, which now seem like a steal due to the anchoring effect. The wallets and belts priced in the thousands, and accessories and scarves in the hundreds are what they actually aim to sell. In truth, people can't precisely assess the value of luxury goods. When luxury brands effortlessly tag wallets in the thousands and handbags in the tens of thousands, they continually reinforce the idea, it's expensive, therefore it's a luxury. They convince customers that the higher the price, the higher the value, employing a consistent strategy that uses the anchoring effect to desensitize consumers to high prices. When you think about it, luxury goods are a culmination of various human desires: the desire to show off, to be different, for recognition, ownership, and self-satisfaction. And our civilization is built upon these primal human desires. While luxury goods have been criticized in capitalist societies as trophies for the wealthy or as symbols that foster relative deprivation, a broader historical perspective might allow us to view them more objectively.